NATO military chiefs are expected to hold a virtual meeting starting in about 10 minutes' time to discuss security guarantees for Ukraine in the event of a peace deal with Russia. The Kremlin is playing down any chance of an imminent face-to-face summit between President Putin and Ukraine's President Zelensky, amid calls for those talks to happen from the US president. While speaking in the past couple of hours, the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said that questions of security cannot be resolved without Russia. He said that they hoped Washington understood that talks without Russia were what he called a path to nowhere. He added Russia didn't hear any constructive ideas from the Europeans at their meeting with President Trump. Well, Mr. Trump continues to urge President Putin and President Zelensky to discuss bringing an end to the war in Ukraine, although he isn't pushing for a ceasefire agreement. European powers are keen to capitalise on a sense of momentum following Monday's talks at the White House. In Ukraine itself, officials say 14 people have been injured in multiple Russian strikes on a town in the northeastern Sumy region. Russia launched 15 drones in the assault in the early hours of Wednesday. The children injured in the attack, which struck a residential neighbourhood in the town, were aged 5 months, 4 years and 6 years old. Our security correspondent Frank Gardner joined me a little earlier and gave us his analysis of the UK's Chief of the Defence Staff, that's Tony Radakin, his visit to Washington.
Well, he has gone to the US to sit down with his American counterparts to discuss exactly what help the US, what support the US is going to give to any post-peace reassurance force that might or might not be deployed to Ukraine. Because Donald Trump has said, well, forget about boots on the ground. That's not going to happen. The US is not going to commit troops to Ukraine, but it might provide some air support. What does that mean? I'm not sure that Donald Trump has worked it out in his own mind what it means exactly, but that's why Sir Vice Admiral Tony Radakin, Admiral has gone to Washington to try and establish, is this going to be close air support? What are going to be the rules of engagement? Is it going to be logistics? Is it intelligence? Is it satellite? Is it surveillance? What's it going to be? And one really important factor in all of this that they have yet to thrash out is that if this reassurance force, that's the coalition of the willing, led by Sir Keir Starmer and President Emmanuel Macron, if that is deployed, what are going to be the rules of engagement? What happens if Russian forces shoot at them or break the ceasefire and shoot at the Ukrainians? Are they allowed to shoot back? But, you know, when you look at all these plans, these talks, these preparations, I'm not saying they're a waste of time. They're very necessary, but it's rather like laying the table for a grand dinner party, but the table is built on two wobbly legs. They're going to have to shore up those legs because there's a lot of moving parts here. Russia may not agree to any of this, and Russia is in no hurry to stop fighting. They are very slowly advancing in the Donbass, taking more and more villages at a tiny, slow rate, an enormous cost of men killed and wounded. But nevertheless, they're not in a hurry to sign up to any kind of a ceasefire or peace deal.
Frank Gardner.